Hey YouTubers, well welcome to the tutorial on the MUFX board. If you recall, we did a tutorial on the UFX board, which is available to you from TSDSinc.com. My good friend Henry Prentice runs that little website and sells some of the best decals I've ever worked with, probably the best decals I've ever worked with. Has a great deal of great items, launch pads for the Jupiter 2, all kinds of cool stuff. Does a lot of the parts and aftermarket kits for Mobius models. Just a really good vendor. I've had nothing but success with his product. We've actually done some business together over the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 years. He's become one of my very good friends. So once in a while he asks me to do one of these tutorials. And I thought we'd have some fun doing it since it's a really interesting and very cool gadget. The MUFX is, of course, the newer prototype, or I should say no longer prototype, functioning unit of the UFX board, which we did, which had all the effects and all that. One of the drawbacks of the UFX, it did not have a sound effect thing, which the MUFX does, and it was a tad big. However, I bought many of them for stock because in the Mobius Jupiter 2, I thought it worked really well, and any further Jupiter 2s will either incorporate that or with the MUFX to get the sound effects as well. But today we're going to be talking strictly about the MUFX. MUFX board, great advantage obviously, very small, will fit in just about anything. And if it's too big to fit into a very small kit, you put it in the base, like I've always said, put it in the bottom. Obviously simple. Some 10-pin lead attachments on the top for the effects. There's three pin leads for the sound. Let's see. There's the pin lead over here that goes off to the speakers. 2 power units, because you can put 2 of these puppies together if you want to, just like the UFX board was. And the new part is, obviously, is the little data card input, which you use data cards that you can get from Henry. They're, I believe, they're old style 512 megabyte data cards. They're plenty big for as much sound as you can put in there. You can put 10 bands in, and very slick, very, very cool. And I'll show you through the procedure of actually showing you how the unit works. I have a demo unit that Donnie, our very skilled engineer, has whipped up just to make the demonstration a little easier, but I'll show you the components as well. And we're going to do a mock-up of the B9 robot from Mobius that was not available at the time, so this is one of those, what they call a print of a B9 robot before it ever came out. It doesn't come with a box, doesn't come with instructions, but you get it like, 6 months to a year before anybody even sees one in the store. And Henry sent me this. He gets these from Frank Winsper at Mobius because he's one of the main vendors that sells aftermarket parts for Mobius kits. As a matter of fact, I've presently right now got a Cylon Raider. I know everybody's just foaming at the mouth to get one of those, and I've got one because in our next film we're going to be showing some more gizmos that TSDS Inc. has produced, and one of them is a Cylon kit, which does some really nifty stuff, but that's not till the next film. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to lay these parts down on the work table over here, and we're going to show you what the MFX board can do. And then we're going to also show you from my computer station, my editing station where I make my films and all that, how you input sound into it to take sort of the, the mystery, the fear out of doing that, because it is rather easy. At first I looked at it and I was like, oh, how do you do this? And no big deal, very, very simple, and we'll go through the procedure, and I'll show you exactly how to lay down some tracks on the little card. Then we'll go over here, and we'll show you the thing working and lighting up the B9 robot as he speaks. So it should be very interesting. So let's go on with our demonstration of the MUFX circuit. Alright, so now we're in here at the editing station, also known as Area FFK1 for obvious reasons. Aliens. Anyways, so we're going to put the files on the SD card using the Audacity program. It's a very simple program. It's free to download. Just type in Audacity, Audacity, in your Google browser or any browser search, and you'll find the program. It's a small, efficient little program for converting wave files to different, bits and speeds and things like that. Nothing complicated. So, without further ado, I'm going to set up the camera so you can see the screen while I'm actually doing this. Okay, so I've done this a few times. I've already got a few files on the little card. So now I'm going to pop up Audacity. Simple program. And now I'm going to look for a file, which I'm going to open. Again, these are files that I've downloaded from fan websites. Just Google search like, soundtracks from Lost in Space, soundtrack from Lost, Star Trek, whatever. And there's plenty of sites that have all these WAV files already on there. If you have a converter, if it's some kind of weird thing like MFX, you need a BroSoft, whatever file converter system you can find, most of this stuff is free. Okay, so let's pick one that a classic.
That does not compute.
Well, that's a classic, so let's put that one in there. So we're going to say at the first, change it or make a copy of the file before editing safer. Okay. Usually go with safer, what's accepted. It's already a mono file, so we're happy with that. Let's see. So we're going to change the bit rate to 16,000. Tracks, resample at 16,000. Okay. We play it to make sure works great. Alrighty. And then we go to 8, File, Export. We're going to go to Removable Disk G. It's always easier to pick, a location of it. Like, if you send it off to wherever the computer wants to send it off, it'll get lost. So this one obviously, as we're looking, and what I like is you can see the numeration. 00, 01, 02, 03. So you already know the next number that you want to pick. In this case, 004. And other compressed files, it already knows that. Options, wave, let's see, what is it? Wave, 8-bit PCM, wave, blah, 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 blah. Unsigned 8-bit PCM. Okay. And then you hit save. Then you get your edit metadata. Clear. Okay. Now we can go to this PC. Removable Disk G. There's number 4 wave. Play with me.
That does not compute.
And there you go. So we've got 4 tracks on there, which will be plenty for us to do our demo of the unit. I realize this is kind of fast and hairy. There's probably a couple of ways of doing this. Skip one step, do the other, but try to follow the directions that Henry's laid out. They do work. So let's move on. Alright, so now we've got our little card in the slot. Notice the effects are going. Alright, now if I hit button number 1, which is the 0000 to 0199 are all on this button number 1.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
And notice the light is flickering with the sound.
Activate program.
Again.
That does not compute.
And there's the tracks we've downloaded.
Warning.
So now let me put the circuit on a demo unit that was constructed by Donnie, the engineer for Henry, to show you all the lighting effects and the sound chip working at the same time. Alright, so here we have our little demo board that Donnie the engineer made up. So I'm just going to show you briefly. So here's every lighting effect. Now if you patched in up to 130 LEDs, these little fellows here, and I believe, let me see if I can do this right here. This is just to give you an idea. So, same as the effect below, you've got a quavering LED. You could have a whole lot of these guys in chest cavities and all kinds of things. Again, let's get this guy out of the way. Now, on number 1, if you remember, we had all our sound effects.
Activate program. That does not compute. Warning, warning, warning.
And notice he's already got a red,
10,
which is what you would have built into the chest
7, 6,
LED into this
5,
thing.
4, 3,
Now, the lead is just to show you
1.
that you can extend these beyond the board. The board is just showing you what's available. So here's all our lighting effects.
Activate program.
We have our sound effects that tie in with 3 channels. And I believe 10 bands per channel. So a whole lot of goodies. So check it out, guys. The MUFX board. Right now it's all linked up with the ribbons. And you can tie in 2 of these things together. So on you've doubled the capability of this board. So I highly recommend it. I will be using it in future projects. So take care. And I hope you enjoyed our little demo.